Welcome, welcome. This is Queenstown, New Zealand. I'm Sergeant Joe Howell. I'm recording on a 360 camera today. Now, this is my third attempt because this keeps failing, this Insta360 X4, telling me that the card speed is too slow, which is really odd because I've used this a lot in the past since I've got this camera. Now, it might be a little bit to do with the temperature today, which is cold here in Queenstown today. It's about 5 degrees. Now let's talk a little bit more about the kit. So I've got the X4, I've got the Rode Wireless Pro hooked up to it as well, so you're going to get like hopefully some decent sound. I'm just going to switch hands. I've got the Action Selfie Stick, which is one of the lighter ones. So it's actually, since I've been walking around for about 15 minutes trying to get this shot, it's getting a little bit heavy at the end of the stick, but we will persevere. Anyway, I'm here in Queenstown. It's about 3 days to the beginning of winter here in New Zealand, and it is cold. You're hearing somebody hammering something here in the background, which is not that helpful. And I'm just walking along the waterfront of Lake Wakatipu. And this is going to be a one-take vlog kind of thing. We'll see how far I get before this card fails again. I'm hoping to get to 10 minutes, but it seems to be failing once I get to about 3. Let's see if I can get this. The screen's gone blank, but the red light is still flashing on the camera, so I'm hoping I'm still getting some footage. Now, Queenstown, interesting place. Of course, you've got the ski stuff going on in the summer, and you've got lots of tourism also going on with the lake and all the surrounding areas in the central South Island here in New Zealand. It's a fantastic place. I probably don't get here as often as I could because it is super duper busy and it's actually quite hard to get to. And when I am here, I tend to be solo doing something or other. I will be here in October. I've been invited to do a talk down here, which I'll be coming solo to do, as I say, at the end of October, where we will be well into spring. So yeah, you can see around here, you can see the snow on the mountains. The good thing about rendering this out in as an 8K sphere is that you could scroll around. You can have a look around yourself, not just looking at me, but also all around yourself and seeing what else there is to see in this beautiful city. You can see here people are just kind of getting geared up for the lunchtime crowd. Although it won't be much of a crowd given the time of year, but you know, there were a few people. It was maybe a half full flight, wasn't particularly busy, but there will be a few people already here in town. There are still definitely a few tourists still here in town, but also some workers here as well who are doing their own thing. Let's have a look around here, see if we can get a little bit closer to the water. I suspect we won't be able to, but let's have a look. Oh, there's a little narrow point here where I can get past. There's some work going on in here, which you can hear with that drilling. And I can get past over here. Now it's a bit windy over here. But let's see if I can sneak through here. There we go, close to the water's edge. You can see the dark waters of the lake here, the Pacific gem, the fish just over here, and over you can see the mountains with the snow cover on there as well. All right, let's walk back through this way. I'm going to have a look in town. Now, Queenstown is super expensive these days to kind of live and work. Has a real problem with housing shortages. Oh look, there's a Kiwi over here. Not a real one, that would be weird. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of things that Queenstown's going through some of those growing pains like many places in New Zealand. And New Zealand's, if you don't know, is a kind of the same sort of area of land as somewhere like the UK. But whereas the UK have got like 65, 70 million people living there, New Zealand has 5. But it also has, lots and lots of wilderness areas where not many people live. Most of the population is on concentrated in a few major cities, and the amount of infrastructure that we have here is probably not enough for the number of tourists and migrant workers that we have here as well. So, much the same problem as there is in many other places in the world. There's a lot of pressure on infrastructure, cost of living crisis, meaning that people are doing it tough at the moment. Yeah, so it's hard here in the world right now. I'm not sure what it's like for you, but on the plus side, we do have some very beautiful places which we can enjoy, and that I'll be showing you around maybe now. So you can just have a look around the waterfront here in Queenstown with me. We're just going to double back here and just have a look at the small beach waterfront there is here. And I've been here in the summer, and it's of course very, very different. It's much warmer for a start, and there's people kind of like swimming in the lake, and there's kind of paragliding going on at the lake as well. All kinds of like cool and interesting things. But we're just gonna wander around here and see people just starting to grab their lunch, which is something that I'll do as well. Now this is a bit of a treat for me. I booked this months ago as part of kind of like my birthday celebrations, which you may have known about, and it's one of those things that I do occasionally, every now and again. But ever since I quit being a psychologist and have spent more time on YouTube, this kind of thing is more important to me. Spend a little bit more time traveling, but also just spending a little bit more time by myself, mucking around with gear. I love traveling with and doing things with my kids, but it's also important for me to try and do some stuff by myself as well. And as the kids get older, it'll be a little bit easier to kind of take them around and do other stuff with them as well. But for now, today is this is the only filming I'm going to be doing today. So yeah, I'm going to be moving on and then just kind of eating, drinking coffee, hanging around before heading back to Wellington. I'm at home late this afternoon and catching up with my family, who will have been going through a regular day. Okay, there's some work going on over here to my right. Just going to switch hands with my selfie stick here. And you can see there's some pretty cold people with hoods on. I've even got a woolly hat on today, which I wouldn't normally have. But yeah, some very cold, underdressed looking people here. Although this dude here looks pretty hard out, just walking around with his shirt on. Mechanic-y kind of like dude. Okay, so here we are at this beachy thing. Bit of a step down. All right, and you can hear some of that surf, not really surf, of the lake lapping up here against the shingle. And you can look around. Just over there, beyond me, where I'm pointing out that way, there's like a kind of like a foresty walk. You can walk around that kind of like peninsula, but a lot of it is private land, and so you can't actually get to the shorefront. I've only ever done it once, and it was quite a few years ago, but I remember being quite surprised as to how little of it you can actually access and you can actually get to over there. Yeah, and you can see over here on my, just up there, how if you scroll around, you can see how strongly that flag is fluttering. You see the breeze really is quite strong, so I'm hoping that this Rode Wireless Pro with the wind muff with a low cut filter is doing the job, because I'm not going to be doing any post-processing on this. I'm literally going to be putting it on Insta360's desktop studio. Just going to turn back around again. Woof, that is windy now. On the Insta360 desktop studio, and popping it out for, I'm just going to get close to the Louis Vuitton shop and seeing if I can just calm that. Oh, I might just duck into here actually, because it is super windy. I might just go up here and then cut left behind this row of shops. You can have a look around anyway. I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this little this little vlog of 360 footage. Queenstown's a pretty interesting place. If you come to New Zealand, you can't avoid coming here really. It's definitely somewhere that you will end up. It's kind of South Island central for everything adventure-y, you know, if you want to do bungee jumping, parachute jumping, anything like that, this is kind of where you're going to end up. Okay, there's one of these narrow little alleyways here. Oh, there's a ramen place. Might have to check that out. Always a big fan of ramen. Well, that does do lunch. Let's have a quick look. How much? Wow. That's okay, $14. $14, I can do that. Ramen, that's pretty good. So that's what, maybe about $10 US, which is pretty good, I think. Where do we end up if we go in here? Can we get through? Yeah, I think we can get through. Let's have a look. Some pubs and bars, and there's a step here that I need to watch out for. And go in here. Here we go. And we'll end up kind of back in the main area, just before the waterfront here. This is one of the main streets that kind of goes up and down Queenstown Centre. There you can see down the end of the street. There's the waterfront again, so we'll just wander down here past the cinema and some of the shops that you go to. Now, there's a place here that I went to with my wife when we came here on our honeymoon part 1, where we did the root burn track. We went walking, and we were in Queenstown for a couple of nights, which I completely forgot to pack underwear for. So I ended up having to go late night to like some kind of like garage and buying some underwear. It wasn't great, but it did the job. And we went here to Madame Wu, just here for dinner that night. They're my two abiding memories of that night, of having no underwear and going to Madame Wu. There you go. That is, I'm sure my wife is going to be delighted me telling that story. And if you look up there, you can see there's a cable car that goes all the way up the mountain. Now, I'm not going to bother today. If it was snowy today and it was completely snow-packed, I would have done that. That would have been fun for you to see. But I think that's about $80 to do that ride. Never used to be that expensive, but it's suddenly ramped up a lot in price. But yeah, that's the cable car that you can get up the mountain. Now, I have walked up there, and it's taken, I don't know, about an hour and a half, something like that. It's completely doable. There's a nice track that goes up there. But yeah, it's not something I want to do today, or have time to do actually today. This is one of those roads where just have to watch out on what's going on. Let's get back to the waterfront, and we can hear the wind starting to pick up again. And I'll just take you to the waterfront, and we'll just hang out over here for a sec. And finally, this card and the X4 have worked. Not ideal that it's taken so many times to get it to work, but this is us. Thanks for watching. Try this video next, and I'll see you again soon.